Hey, I'm Tim and this is my 1965 Ford Mark-1 Cortina. But it's not your everyday Cortina. This is 100% electric using batteries from a wrecked Tesla Model X and an electric motor that gives 3 times the torque and more than double the horsepower than what it was originally. I bought this Cortina a few years ago. It was an unfinished project, needed a bit of work to be put back together, and to be honest, the little 1500cc engine just wasn't much. Actually, on the day I got it, the clutch died and I realised there had to be something good put into this Cortina, and I had an idea of converting it to electric from the day that I got it. The Cortina is a really good model to convert to electric. It's nimble, it's small, it's light, but it still had good space to fit the Tesla batteries. I've kept the original drivetrain, so the Ford 4 on the floor manual gearbox is still there. The electric motor is 100 kilowatt peak. It's 9 inches in diameter, only weighs 55 kilos, and it gets mated to the original stock Ford gearbox via a custom-made aluminium billet motor adapter plate. I kept the clutch and the gearbox so I can shift through the gears while on the fly, or I can drive it like an automatic and not touch the gears or the clutch at all, because the little electric motor has enough torque to go from 0 to 100 or more in 2nd or 3rd gear. All the torque comes from 0 RPM as well, so it's heaps of fun to drive. It's about 100 kilos heavier than the stock weight once we've added the batteries from the Tesla Model X. I've only put in about 1/3 of the battery pack, and that's because I wanted to keep the weight fairly light like the original Cortina was, and that's enough to get 180 to 200 kilometre range. And we've split that Tesla battery pack between a front battery box and a rear battery box, and it's kept the same weight distribution as what there was originally. And everything is totally reversible in this conversion. There's been no welding or cutting big holes in the body. Everything's coming off stock motor mount positions. So after converting and getting it on the road, we had to eventually upgrade the gearbox. This is the 3rd gearbox I'm on now. It's been reconditioned to put up with the extra power through the electric motor. We've rebalanced the drive shaft and totally reconditioned the rear diff. Apart from that, everything else is stock, suspension and brake. It comes with a stock front disc brakes and rear drum brakes. There is some custom fabrication work that's required to integrate an electric motor into a classic car. You need to fabricate battery boxes that can withstand very high impact forces. You need to fabricate the adapter plate to couple the electric motor to the original drivetrain and mount the electric motor. We've done that so that we've preserved the integrity of the Cortina, so everything is totally reversible should you want to go back to the stock drivetrain. The Cortina still runs a 12-volt lead-acid battery, and that's because every single electric car in the world still has a 12-volt accessory circuit and still needs a 12-volt lead-acid battery. So that runs the accessories, you know, your headlights, windscreen wipers, etc. I'm running 2 different coolant systems in the car. One to keep the lithium-ion batteries cool, the Tesla batteries, and another to keep the chill plate for the inverter, which converts the DC current to AC 3-phase for the AC electric motor. Being an AC electric motor, it can use regenerative braking, which helps keep the wear off the mechanical brake. How that works is that when the car is in motion and you put your foot on the brake pedal to slow the car down, it uses the kinetic energy of the moving vehicle and spins the electric motor in the other direction, and that actually generates charge that goes back into the battery pack. And so you're not only saving your brakes, but you're adding charge to your battery as you come to a halt. And that's regenerative braking, which is on new electric vehicles and also on my classic electric car. So charging an electric car is super easy. Just like my Cortina, I can charge it at any power point as a charging point, at home, at work, anywhere. But I've also installed DC fast charging, which means I can use the DC public fast chargers that are being built around Australia for a fast, quick charge and top up to get going on those longer highway trips. I've installed an Android head unit, which via an OBD2 diagnostic system monitors all the important characteristics of the electric motor, such as temperature, RPM, and the battery system, which is very important: temperatures, voltages, percentage of battery remaining, range estimates, etc. I've also modified the analog gauges to show battery remaining in the old fuel gauge, and the speedo still reads off the transmission. I've added electric air conditioning, which is essential for a Queensland summer, so now we can enjoy classic cars all year round without being too uncomfortable in the old vinyl bench seats. The upfront investment is fairly high, roughly around 30 grand or so for this conversion. But what that gets me is a totally reliable, very low maintenance classic car. It's fun to drive, it's fast, and it's very cheap. A few cents per kilometre, or if you're charging off your solar power at home, free. And if you're charging at a shopping centre or a public fast charging station, it can be also very cheap to run. So now it's a fun car that is absolute ball to drive, and it's a true sleeper. It can compete against a lot of cars and surprise many off the line. I love my little electric Cortina. It's great fun. We're preserving the past, embracing the future, and actually getting these cars out of paddocks and out of sheds to where they can be enjoyed on the road. That's not the end of it. I'm now restoring a 1973 Combi, and then after that, perhaps my old retirement project, the 1949 Pontiac two-door fastback.